Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Prosper Nutrition Show, where we want you to prosper and be in health. My name is Jason Steves. I'm a clinical account specialist with Perk Integrative Health, and I'm joined by my co-host, Steve Steves, who is a certified clinical nutritionist and naturopath. And today, we're going to be answering the question, should I use sunscreen to prevent skin cancer? It's a very interesting question. We're going to weigh in on this question, get Steve's expert input after 30 years of nutrition work. We're also going to be sharing some discount opportunities on some products that we'll talk about today. So stay tuned. And remember, every Friday at 1:30, we're going to be talking to you about all sorts of nutrition and health topics here on the Prosper Nutrition Show, 1:30 Central Standard Time. So thank y'all for joining us today. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, please. That'll keep you notified whenever we go live. We're really wanting to bring to you health topics from a perspective of people who have been working in the industry, the health industry, the natural health industry, nutrition, from an honest, clear, and no frills point of view. So we want to get you the truth about these health topics. And so today, Steve, should I use sunscreen to prevent skin cancer? This is an interesting question and topic. I think a lot of people are wondering about this. What is how are you doing, by the way?
I'm doing great, Jason. I think we should first answer the question, what is sunscreen? When you say that word, you first think, oh, this is the stuff we buy at the store that says I slather it on my skin and I am magically protected from skin cancer. Wrong. It's absolutely the biggest. It's just like a lot of the lies that are out there. And so we're going to debunk that belief system. And we're going to bring in the truth today with how we were created, how our cells are designed to protect you from the destruction of aging in your skin and maintaining young, youthful skin many years in life to come, not just disease-free or cancer-free, but have really youthful, healthy, shiny, radiant skin. That's what people want, and that's our goal. And that's the God goal. That's the Ephesians 3:20 goal. God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all you can ask or imagine. Not just prevent skin cancer because your mom or dad suffered with it, but just to have radiant, healthy skin. But there's a lifestyle to be lived. And I know we're going to offer a free with this on our prospernutrition.com. We've got that 7 proven steps to improve the health of you and your family. Well, one of those, I say one of those, skin health, is addressed by all 7 of those principles.
Right.
But today we're going to talk about specific nutrients that do protect the skin. And don't be deceived by the synthetic nutrients that are out there. For example, the Environmental Working Group does a great job at exposing a particular vitamin A that's synthetic called retinol palmitate, and they found that it in Germany and Norway. So whenever you get studies outside the United States, you're going to get more truthful information. In the US, so much of it is plugged or controlled by the outcome, and it's manipulated by pharmaceutical companies and their desire to push you to their synthetic compounds. So this being a synthetic compound was found in Germany, a Norwegian study in 2014 and 2012, that this combined excessive exposure to the sun by using retinol palmitate increased the risk to cancer and did not help as an antioxidant as it's supposed to. Now, on the flip side of that, if you look at, for example, Prosper Nutrition has a product called Liver Protect, and we named it Liver Protect. You think of the liver, it's the most resilient organ in the body. It needs the most support. We could have called it the Whole Body Protect, because these work prolifically in all tissue cells. So I pulled up an article on a couple of the ingredients that are in Liver Protect. One of them is a form of vitamin A called zeaxanthine. And studies indicated on Healthline and others, there's all kinds of research group, the National Institutes of Health, National Grocers, NIH. So they talk about the properties of zeaxanthine. It's one of the vitamin A family members. Vitamin A comes in a group like a complex. You've got, alpha carotenoid, beta carotene, and then zeaxanthine, lutein. But zeaxanthine has this ability to improve the signs of skin aging. People reaped benefits from eating a diet rich in zeaxanthine and applying skin cream that contained zeaxanthine and other antioxidants in it that were natural, of course, in their form. And that's one of the molecules that's in our Liver Protect. Another one that's used there is alpha carotene, which is not retinol palmitate. It's a completely different vitamin A compound. It protects from light-induced damage to the skin. Carotenoids are pigments found in plants that have antioxidant properties and help maintain healthy skin by supporting collagen and elastin production. And there are so many others. Tocopherol is another one. It's one of the vitamin A family. It is a vitamin A, what's the word I'm looking for? Complex. The complexities of vitamin A and vitamin E and your B complex, even vitamin C has complexes to it. They don't stand alone as ascorbic acid or retinol palmitate and so forth. So we need the natural forms, and they come in many different forms. But there's a research, vitamin E in dermatology, and it's reducing the effect of sunburned cells. Listen to this. If you put tocopherol on your skin, it lowers the production of sunburned cells reduced by the damage caused by UVB rays from the sun, and it inhibits the light-caused carcinogenesis, the cancer-causing chemical reaction that happens in the skin. So tocopherol, I take copious amounts of it orally. So when I go out in the sun for hours and hours and hours a week, you can see the protective effect in my skin because it doesn't get the sunspots or the splotches or the dry patches or the damage that occurs from people that don't have enough of these nutrients that are in products like our Liver Protect. Americans need a lot of Liver Protect. There's so many nutrients that are in there. And I know we have a skin-based product called Skin and Hair Essential, I believe.
Skin and Hair Repair.
I'm sorry, yeah, Skin and Hair Repair. And that's a great product that we should offer as a discount today too, Jason. But all of these cofactors in the Liver Protect also has zinc in there. I know that we earlier discussed zinc, and people are aware of the benefits of zinc as a protective mechanism. I use a skin cream that has some zinc in it. So zinc oxide found in skin lotions is helpful, but you have to make sure that you're not getting synthetic chemicals within the lotion that you're using or the sunscreen that you're using. So it's important when you're looking at ingredients, don't be deceived if it has one good thing in there like zinc, or if it has a carotenoid form of vitamin A, or maybe it has zeaxanthine. Make sure it doesn't have synthetic compounds that are carcinogenic in themselves. You can look those up more in detail. Don't just put anything on your skin or in your body, but the average American does. The research shows that by the time people leave the home in the morning, they have ingested or put on their skin more than 42 carcinogenic causing chemicals.
Ooh, wow.
And we wonder why we have so much cancer in America. And then we go about using chemical toxins to treat the cancer, and we expect to live longer. It's remarkable, the belief system that has been instilled through the lies of pharmakia all these years And we're trying to just instill truth that God put in nature. That's why Prosper Nutrition was named from a scripture, 3 John 2, beloved, above all things, I wish you prosper and be in health. And that's our goal for you. And that's why we developed very limited pure skin health products. As you see here, Jason's showing the skin and hair repair. It's got vitamin C in it, a fully reduced ascorbate that's corn-free. It doesn't have chemical pesticide or herbicide sprayed on it. Same goes for vitamin D as a fat-soluble vitamin that's generated from the cholesterol in your skin. You want a good way to lower cholesterol in your body? Don't put on sunscreen. Just put in these nutrients that we're talking about. Let your body metabolize the UVA rays and break down the cholesterol in your body and convert it to vitamin D. That's your natural lowering of cholesterol. And if you want to prove that point, spend more time in the summer out in the sun, a little bit each day so you don't burn. And then check your cholesterol in the middle of the summer, July, great time to do that. And then cover up, keep that skin protected in the winter, and then get another cholesterol test in the wintertime. And you will see, unless you're healthy and metabolizing normally throughout the year, like you're supposed to, I have a stable blood cholesterol that stays right at 150, 145, summer and winter, summer and winter. But the average individual who doesn't have these quality fat-soluble vitamins and liver-protecting vitamins, skin-protecting vitamins and minerals, and what we call phytonutrients, these plant chemical compounds that protect your skin, it's just remarkable. The American Cancer Society has at their fingertips more than 50,000 herbal remedies on tap, not herbal remedies, phytonutrient database of these different plant compounds and how they reverse and stop the progression of cancer. So the research is there. The American Cancer Society knows it, but are the cancer companies profiting off what the American Cancer Society has revealed? No, they certainly aren't. They're profiting from their own agenda. We just want to profit and reveal the truth. We are called to do that. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free, Jason. Pretty exciting topic. There's so much more to dig in. I just encourage people, don't just put anything on your skin.
Yeah. Well, Steve, that you've got a wealth of knowledge, and I think you dove into a lot of that. And a lot of information, folks, this is going to be really helpful. We're putting the recording of this on our Prosper Nutrition YouTube page. So you can go back and you can look at the recording and kind of go through some of the information Steve has shared. But one of the things I'd like to ask you to break down a little bit, Steve, is, when you were talking about sunscreen, could you put simply, like, what are the main things that you share with people as to why sunscreen is not a good idea, as like a regular everyday thing for their skin?
Well, for that one reason alone, because sunscreen will block your natural ability to metabolize your cholesterol into vitamin D. And you need that to protect your immune system, the very vitamin that actually is anti-carcinogenic. When we were at one of the scientific symposiums in Phoenix, one of the presenters there had the audacity to make a statement based on what he's seen in his clinic. He said, of these cancer patients that come into our clinic, all of the patients where we test their vitamin D levels and their vitamin D levels exceed more than 80, I think it's micrograms, I forget the actual reading.
Nanograms per milliliter, I think.
Yeah. And that's based on the vitamin D3 cholecalciferol test, which is the standard blood test for vitamin D, the active form of vitamin D. They said when they get the numbers above 80, he said, we do not see cancer in those patients in our clinic. So here's a researcher that has a cancer treatment clinic, and they monitor vitamin D levels. And when they compared it to the amount of cancer they see in the patient, there's a direct correlation. So we don't want to take sunscreen and use chemicals that would block that natural. Now, if your sunscreen is just a natural vitamin A mixture and a vitamin E mixture of tocopherols, and maybe it's got some zeaxanthin in it and it's got some zinc in it, and it doesn't have any parabens or synthetic compounds, then you've got something healthy that you can use and you won't need to use on a daily basis unless you spend or you work outside for hours in the sun. But the natural production of melanin, where your skin tans, that process is God's way of protecting those who spend a lot of time in the sun. So if you look at cultures that live around the equator and they work outside and they get, oh, so much intense sunlight, what happens to their skin? Do you hear about a lot of skin cancer? No, you don't.
Mm.
The highest amount of skin cancer per capita is in the cultures of individuals who have the least amount of sun exposure. They have the fairest, tight white skin.
Huh.
People with darker skin, Hispanic cultures, Black cultures, they don't get the skin cancers like fair skinned people do.
Huh.
And usually those skin cancers are showing up in areas that aren't even exposed to the sun.
Yeah.
So this is information that's not getting out, and we're
So
here.
there, well, that's good. So it sounds like there's some genetic component, right? That we've talked about that shows a weakness, right? So fair-skinned people probably have a more of a weakness in regard to like skin cancers developing, but that doesn't mean it should happen. You need to know how to do these things that we're telling you, that Steve's sharing with you. I wanted to share this video. I don't know if you've seen this video, Steve, of it's a UV versus visible light comparison when applying sunscreen. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but uh, this is like regular sunscreen or sunblock, and this is what it looks like. So on the left, this is what it normally would look like to the naked eye, but then on the right, it's a UV, I guess, uh, camera or something, and she's applying it to her skin, and I guess it's just blocking out all of the, you know, exposure. I don't know, but it
Wow.
to me it looks pretty bad because
Looks like
it's like
tar,
right. It does look a bit like tar. It's just, to our naked eye.
but it's probably a petroleum-based chemical that's in there that's creating that
Yeah.
uh, UV light.
Huh.
Wow, that's
So I
amazing.
thought that was really interesting. Some people might say, like, well, that's protecting you from the sun, but it's also like you were saying, it's preventing your body from, doing the things that it naturally should do.
Well,
Uh,
even the pores taking in oxygen, and the pores also have to sweat and remove toxins. And when those pores get blocked up, what's going to happen?
mhm.
Cancer cell activity increases.
Right. Yeah. And that's a good point. Is like we educate people so often on the helping the body to cleanse, to detoxify, to get the waste out, and sweating is such an important part of that. There's a phrase that Dr. Jaffe uses, urine, sweat, and stool, right? There's the pathways of elimination, right? So it's the skin, the lungs, the urinary tract, the bowels, and for women it's the vaginal tract. But the skin, I mean, as we know, and I think most people, a lot of people might be aware of, but not everybody, is that the skin is the largest organ of the body. And I think a lot of people forget that things are absorbed through our skin. I think that people forget that a lot as well. So much can be absorbed through the skin. And if you're putting these chemicals, especially petroleum-based chemicals and other, chemicals that can be really toxic to the body on your skin, I mean, that could definitely add to some immune burden and possibly some skin issues. So we
Yeah,
we
Jason.
don't recommend, as you're saying, Steve, and I would say we definitely don't recommend using sunscreen on a regular basis to prevent skin cancer, not something that is a good idea based on what we've learned about how it works.
Yeah, recently I met with the gentleman in the office and we reviewed the lymphocyte response assay. And in that assay, there were a number of chemicals that are linked to, let me read them to you from the test results page of this document for this person. There was chemicals such as phthalates. These are found in various pesticide. Let me tell you the places they're from. Phthalates showed up, and this guy goes, "What is that?" Well, I think I've heard of that. FDC blue number one, sulfites as a preservative, and this individual was having respiratory issues, and all of these are linked to that. Phthalates are also in if you're using off sprays to keep bugs off your skin, you're poisoning and increasing. They're estrogenic in their effect, is what this phthalate is, and this estrogenic plasticizer that's in there that blocks. If critters don't get near it and won't get near you, then obviously it's a toxic compound that you've got on your body to do that. But you can use essential oils, which have therapeutic effects, and not deal with that. There was another chemical that was in the report called tannous sulfide. Yeah. So that's what I love about the lymphocyte test, is identifying your immune burdens, chemical burdens, and we've got that available for any who want to take advantage of it at Nutrition Health Center. But certainly they can take advantage of getting some support with their liver for their skin and then enjoy the summer like we are. We've been out boating. Of course, we have a swimming pool. We always have. Got to have one of those in Texas. It's just too bloody hot down here.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I noticed, Steve, when I was a kid, this is just something that I remembered as a kid every summer, and this was probably in my preteen, maybe, 12, 13, 14. It was about that time where I was, dealing with skin issues like pimples and things like that. And I remembered every summer, whenever we would start getting out in the pool and swimming and in the sun more, my skin would clear up. And so it seemed like I related it to, I mean, I would just get out in the sun, and I don't know if I was sweating more. I was probably the combination of sweating more activity, more sun exposure. My skin was just becoming healthier, and maybe less time just wasting on maybe possibly eating junk here and there. It was a healthier lifestyle. Than it was, I guess over the winter. But I always remembered that during the summer is my skin would get a lot healthier. And obviously now I've learned how to better take care of my skin as I've become an adult, learned more about nutrition and health and what I need to do to make sure my skin is healthy. Um, but yeah, that was something I noticed that was a big a big difference.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
interesting.
yeah. I so you share. I mean, we should probably share that with we maybe not share that with everybody. There's a picture of me when I was a kid, but mom's there too. I don't know if she would like to share
Yeah.
that. Um, so Steve, now what can folks do if they're going to be out in the sun a long time, like say going to a water park or going somewhere, and they're going to get a lot of sun exposure? Is there something they can do? What would you recommend to help protect their skin if they're going to be in the sun for a long time? With that, like obviously the burning aspect, we want to try to avoid burning. We don't, that's, kind of it's hard on the body to have burns. So what would you recommend on that in that regard?
Well, definitely take your vitamin C, take your zinc,
Hmm.
take your liver protect,
So
your
hydration and antioxidants, right?
hydration. Of course, eating foods that are rich in antioxidants. So that's colors of the rainbow, all the colors of the rainbow, the reds and yellows and greens and blues and purples, and just eating of live foods that have all these antioxidants, phytonutrients that the
Hmm.
American Cancer Society found over 50,000 of them that have a cancer protective effect found in natural foods and herbs. But in addition to that, of course, exercise improves sweating and purification of the skin, doing infrared saunas, doing stress meditation. Also, the amount of water can be enhanced through colon irrigation as well for the individual that may have a
Mm,
colon. They're going to be absorbing more toxins from their diet via the sluggish bowel. Things aren't getting out fast enough.
yeah.
And that's why these nutrients are so important. People always comment that I do have more bowel movements. They're softer, they're easier, and that's what we want. So we can get those toxins out and they don't stay in our body, which ultimately turns out on our skin.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so many simple tools that it really do work. There are no quick fixes, folks, for your skin. No quick repairs, no quick protection that's safe. You need to just do these things on a continual basis, and you will have healthy skin for your entire life and a longer life as a result.
Hmm. Yes. So we want to make sure like hydration, like you're talking about, making sure you get enough water and then ascorbate in the water. These these things are huge, I feel, because that's what I've really focused a lot on. Recently, I went to water park with my family, and we were out there for a good amount of time in the sun. And I came home and I was pretty red, on my back and shoulders. And I was like, I wonder how this is gonna go. But I hydrated really, really well. I made sure that I didn't have a whole lot of like sweets or sugars. That's something that I really made a point of because I know that if I do that, it's going to dehydrate me. And so that's something that we need to keep in mind too, is like, right? You get a lot of liquids in, but are you hydrated? Is your mineral balance correct? Or are you throwing your mineral balance off because of either alcohol consumption or caffeine or sugars, right? These will throw your minerals off. And so that's something you have to keep in mind as well, is getting getting hydration, but avoiding things that'll dehydrate you or imbalance your minerals, and then getting adequate amounts of minerals and antioxidants. Like the ascorbate is a vitamin C that's an antioxidant that helps the immune system repair, and so you get repair from that sun exposure uh, that we're exposed to. So,
Well, not only that, Jason, is vitamin C allows your body to produce collagen, which
hmm,
restores skin elasticity and
there we go.
protection. And then vitamin C, ascorbate, is also used to activate the lymphocytes, to activate neutrophils, all types of white blood cells that fight against cancer cell formation.
Hmm.
So
Good.
you can read Linus Pauling's book, Vitamin C and Cancer. I've got it here in the
Hmm.
office somewhere.
That's a valuable book.
He also does a lot of research on tocopherol vitamin E. I believe he's got Nobel Prize for both of those researches on vitamin E and vitamin C.
Yeah.
Brilliant
Yeah,
man.
that's a great point, Steve. The that and that's probably what we would say is, should I use sunscreen to prevent skin cancer? Probably don't need to do that. It could go the other way based on what we've been talking about, the toxins. What should we do to prevent skin cancer? Well, we need to hydrate. We need to give our body vitamin C. We need to give our body these nutrients that you talked about that are in the liver protect, the mixed natural tocopherols, the and the oh man, I just blanked on the other ones you were referring to in that product. But yeah, the Liver Protect is going to really go a long way to help your body because I mean the liver processes all of what's going on, right? It's processing, it's filtering all the blood, and so it helps our body to be able to repair itself and gives the immune system the nutrients it needs. So,
Exactly.
yeah. Well, so now that we've got a good picture of what we can do to prevent skin cancer naturally, folks, you can get 10% off your order. If you order using this coupon code for today, all the supplements that we talked about today get 10% off your order on prospernutrition.com at checkout. The coupon code is 7524 show. That's today's date. 7524 show. You'll get 10% off your order, all the supplements that we spoke about today, and you can start feeling the difference and working towards really naturally preventing skin cancer. And like Steve mentioned earlier, we've got that free download of the 7 proven steps on prospernutrition.com. So you can download that and start working on your lifestyle while you're taking the supplements and start feeling the difference. And we've been doing it at the Nutrition and Health Center for 30 years, and now we're taking this initiative with Prosper Nutrition to reach out to you all over the U.S. to help you prosper and be in health. Steve, thank you so much for sharing. Is there any last words on this topic that you'd like to share with the folks?
Well, there's a lot of words in between, but
Mm-hmm.
your skin is the outward reflection of what's in the inside.
Mm,
So whatever you put in, garbage out. Just
mm.
make sure you're putting in life-giving nutrients and watch very careful everything that's on your labels. May you prosper and be in health. Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks, Steve. Thank y'all. Join us next week here on the Prosper Nutrition YouTube channel, 1:30 Central Standard Time for the Prosper Nutrition Show. And feel free to put any comments in this comment section down below, any questions. We'll answer those questions for you. Y'all take care. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your time with your families, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.